Hello, everyone. This is Anu here. Thank you so much for tuning in for a very special episode in Talk with Anu. And today we are mainly going to talk on knowledge. And I'm so happy to do this interview with a very special friend of mine, Anu, especially on Teachers' Day in India. India celebrates Teachers' Day today. So we are going to talk on how one can share knowledge to the world or how one can share their success stories to people who are listening to it. Thank you so much, Anu, once again. And Anu is been here in the US for more than 2 decades now, and she is a Chief Relationship Officer in Banyan Way, and she lives in Cumming, Georgia. Hello, Anu. Welcome.
Hello, Anu. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited. Very happy Teachers' Day to everyone, to teachers and to parents and to everyone who imparts some knowledge to others.
Very true. I mean, speaking of teachers, Anu, I think they are the primary people who come to my mind when we talk about knowledge sharing, because they dedicate their lives in imparting that knowledge to hundreds of children and many who do online sessions also to thousands of people around the globe. Right? It's not just in school systems, even online educations, especially during COVID.
Of
we,
course.
we saw a lot of struggles in the education system, how teachers were struggling to impart the knowledge to the children. So probably we can take this time to thank them, appreciate them in all what they did, and kudos to all the teachers.
Yes, kudos to all of them. And I think this year has been especially challenging for those in virtual education, because teachers had to learn new skills, how to interact with kids. Kids had to learn new skills. And so we appreciate their patience and their dedication.
Exactly. I mean, as you say, learning new skills, it's the technology that was challenging as well, right? In an in-person classroom, it's a different scenario where children, they come in and they spend the entire day with the teachers. It's a social gathering as well, but everything was missing, and it's a technology challenge that they all took it up. It's another, probably a new learning for them as well, for teachers. But we've all traveled together in this, and this is a great thing that we've seen. I think it's a positivity, it's a positive feeling to say that we are still going strong in during this tough time. So
Yes.
yeah, very, very, very happy actually to talk on this topic. And apart from teachers, I'm also let's also think about anyone who is willing to share the knowledge to the world, right? So I mean, I've always been thinking about this, that knowledge shouldn't die within one person, it should spread to the world. We have to come forward and talk to people and explain about the experiences we've come through, be it education or life or career. It's nice to share the knowledge, so anyone anywhere is willing to listen to that, and they get inspired and motivated by that. So yeah, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, what I feel is, I think first of all, knowledge is, I feel, is not ours to own. We have to share it. And we may think, each of us comes with our unique life experiences. So we think, oh, it might be boring, if I tell this person, that person. But if we share our struggles, what things we faced, our successes, our failures, I think failure is even more important. So you never know, it might inspire someone else. Maybe they are stuck, they're in a rut right now. So if knowing that, Anu came out of this or someone else came out of this, will give them some hope. And I think when it comes to knowledge, and we sometimes feel hesitant, we feel shy, or else one is knowledge sharing, even asking for help, reaching out, even saying, I need the information on this, I need something. So a close friend of mine, he says, if you don't ask for it, the answer is no. So you need to know to ask for something, and it's okay. You may get a no answer, but sometimes someone will be there who will be able to guide you.
Very
So
true.
both ways, knowledge sharing and knowledge, uh, gathering.
Beautiful point. Knowledge, asking for knowledge. A person who is hungry for knowledge, he's mostly a winner in most
Yes.
of the areas he steps into. This reminds me of Paramuri, a proverb in Tamil, அழுற குழந்தைக்கு தான் பால் கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னு. It means that, a child who is crying will get the milk first.
Yes.
So
Only if you ask.
only if you ask. So excellent on that. I mean, knowledge, asking for knowledge, or go search for knowledge where it is available. It doesn't come sometimes where we are sitting, it doesn't come on a plate served for us. Very true on that. I think I have a quote here. For people who are willing to share knowledge, knowledge increases by sharing, but not by saving. So it again increases for themselves when they start imparting it. It's a good deed.
And one thing I'd like to add on that is I think schooling, gives us skills. There's information all around us. Schooling gives us skills of how to search for that, what to search for, how to search it. And so because schooling and education is slightly different, right? Schooling gives you skills. Education is a lifelong process.
Correct.
So we have to keep educating ourselves. I'm sure, Anu, in your field, that, it's also good to seek out mentors for knowledge, so we need to find a mentor in our field, someone not in our field, someone totally, who you admire. So that would help, that constant, knowledge transfer, to so to speak, will really help build ourselves.
Very true, very true. And in this world of social media, I think it's not a big challenge to get, a mentor who is comfortable for us. Facebook, Instagram, you name it. There are so many of
There's
them.
no limit.
There's no limit. So I think people just have to go get there and find a proper mentor, or follow people. Sometimes you can be a silent follower and get
Yes,
inspired by the posts they come up with. I've been following many of them, not just celebrities, but there are also people who are silently doing good deeds.
right,
So even them we have to appreciate. Real heroes who are very quiet, and who are not public, who are not publicly doing things.
right.
People follow them and get the stories, to the other people. So it's really nice to appreciate these people also. That's a very good thing. And
My parents are both teachers, so I've closely interacted with, that the teacher student relationship. So one thing, I think all of us can learn from that is to be ever curious, to be a student forever. So ever curious and seek out, as you know, Anu, the more we know that we don't know so much, the more we don't know, right? So, we always have to, I think, so I can learn from you, you can learn from me. So I appreciate this dialogue, so that there's someone listening today who's feeling, how do I seek help, or how do I, so I know that if I keep listening to this, maybe something I hear could inspire me.
definitely, definitely. And when you were talking about this, known is a drop, unknown is an ocean, right? So
Yes,
so
yes,
many things that we don't know still. Even a person who is trying to cook and become a chef, there are so many things they could learn from their mentors. In every particular field and industry, there are so much to learn from. And I really appreciate people who come forward to share the knowledge. That's what I've been thinking a lot these days, especially when I go to LinkedIn. Not many who come forward to share the
yes.
knowledge, be it a technology tool, or a language they learned, or a startup they've started with, or the success stories they have, or the failures they had during the journey. What went wrong. That itself is a big story they could share, so that many people could learn about it and try to avoid it, or take it as an example and take it forward if when they are starting a startup. I really want many startup gurus to come forward and speak their journeys.
Think if they come forward, then we are able to relate to them on our level.
Very
We are looking up to them. At the same time, we can say, they went through the same trials and tribulations, and they got over it, so we can learn from them.
Very true, very true. Another quote here: gaining knowledge is the first step to wisdom, sharing it is the first step to humanity. I think they've named.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah,
I think
it's one of
it's
the
appropriate for Teachers Day, especially.
appropriate for Teachers Day as well. So another quote here is: knowledge is power, knowledge shared is power multiplied. It's almost similar to the first one we shared. Knowledge
Yes,
increases by sharing, but not by saving. So again and again, like for example, if I have some skills, say a simple skill like resume building, there are many people who are returning back to workforce who would like to know how to write a resume. And if I can just gather them around and share my knowledge on how I built my resume, it's going to help someone, right? Any returning, a mom returning back to workforce, or anyone, an intern. So people are there looking for such simple tips as well. So these are also knowledge sharing. So people just can come forward and share the knowledge, and I'd like to call them as guru. Whoever
Guru, yes.
share knowledge is called as a guru. So thanks to all the gurus who are already
Gurus, yes.
welcoming all gurus to come forward.
And when we talk about knowledge, it doesn't have to be only technical skills necessarily. So when I got into this, started working in the startup, my main skills were soft skills, people skills, in networking, connecting with people. So anything. So you can use whatever skill you have. If it's something, so I may be lacking in a technical skill, so I can reach out to someone who does. Or if they want to know more about networking, they can reach out to me. So we can, that knowledge sharing, like you said, is multiplied.
Very true, very true. I think you talked about your parents being teachers as well. A little more about your place of birth and your parents.
Yeah, so I was born in Calcutta, and my parents are both, they're not from Chennai, they're Tamilian, but from Bombay and from Calcutta. I grew up in Nigeria, so I came back to India only when I was in 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
So after that, 8th to 12th, I was in a boarding school called Rishi Valley School, which was by the philosopher J. Krishnamurti, his school. And then after that, I went to Bombay for college. So I've been everywhere, and so I have lived maybe in Chennai maybe few years.
Excellent.
So my parents, they got into education later. My dad, he chose to get into education in his 40s. So seeing him and my mom getting into education as something they wanted to do as a second career, so that inspired me. And even now, they are constantly trying to impart the knowledge that they have.
Very
And they always tell me, Anu, we are also learning in the process. It's not only when we, as you know, Anu, when we teach someone, we also learn that subject better.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's like a repetition, or sometimes when you keep on learning a subject multiple times, it's like getting into your head very strongly, right? The fundamentals.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, imparting knowledge is going to give you more experience on that subject. Definitely. I heard the word Nigeria. What is the most staple dish there in Nigeria? Or tell us something a little bit about the food there.
It's about we were there in Nigeria about 9 years, and so in that I would I regret to say we didn't have much Nigerian food,
Okay.
but but we did have a cook at home, a Nigerian cook who could make the best sambar, rasam. So we trained her to make all our yummy food, and
Wonderful.
we had a big expatriate population there. So now when I look back, I wish I had eaten more of the traditional dishes, but never, now I can go back and I think do some research and incorporate that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you've shared the knowledge of making sambar to your cook, and now
Oh
she's
yes,
expert.
she was an expert. She just couldn't speak our language, but she could cook everything that that we usually eat.
Oh,
So it was a great
wonderful.
experience.
That looks like a very nice experience there. So
Thank
very
you.
nice to hear that. And I have to say this about Anu. You came forward giving me beautiful feedback on my Talk with Anu show, and that's something that I should appreciate, because people like you keep motivating me and keep me going. And you came up with right feedback, be it positive or negative. I'm willing to accept any kind of feedback. So you are such a person. I must thank you on that, Anu. And when I talked about knowledge sharing, I really wanted someone to talk along with me, because I didn't want it to be a solo topic, me saying it on screen. So, and you immediately accepted, and you just came to right now to talk with me on this. Thank you, Anu, on this. And I would leave it to you if you have anything else to say on this.
Yeah, thank you, Anu, for this opportunity. I have to tell all the viewers, when we first spoke, it didn't feel like a first conversation. So it felt like we were catching up from way back, and so I appreciated what talk, especially with Anand, it was really moving to me. So just starting a dialogue is the first step, which you're doing, Anu. So I really appreciate that, and I look forward to many future collaborations or discussions with you. So I really look forward to that. And for everyone else who's listening, there is someone out there who you can learn from or you can teach. So if anything, so do not feel that they may not take it the right way. We have to offer help and we have to ask for help. So please Especially during COVID, we have all felt so alienated, so alone. So please reach out, even if it's one person today, after listening to us, one person who is looking to maybe get back into the workforce, or maybe looking to learn a new skill. You may not know that skill, but guide them to somebody who does.
Right.
So just that guiding and referring is going to go a long way.
Right.
Thank you,
Sometimes,
Anu.
sometimes we may be building bridges, like we just connect people, right?
Right.
I may know someone who's a guru, and I may know someone who is wanting to know something from that guru. So I'm just connecting both of them. So that's
Yeah,
that.
just that connection, because there is someone who, who's ready, a giver and, a learner. So, you can get them together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anu. Thank you again so
Thank
much
you.
for coming to me on this Sunday, especially it's a long weekend. But since it's Teachers' Day, I wanted to talk right away on today itself. So thank you so much for accepting and coming here to talk with me.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.